I can eat again. Well, sort of. Kind of. Maybe. Almost. The reason why I'm saying that is because things aren't 100% back to normal, and something did happen a couple days ago, and the timing of it was kind of ironic. We'll get into that shortly. Before that, I know I've mentioned this a couple times in the last videos, but I thought I'd make a separate video just kind of focusing on this, giving you a complete update on how things are going on that front because it is getting better. Not necessarily day by day, but definitely week by week. Like every week I look back at the previous week and I'm like, all right, I'm definitely able to eat more. And, I don't seem to have as many issues as before trying to force myself to eat, being afraid of throwing up, things like that. So things are definitely getting way better on that front. Not 100% back to normal, which is why I did the whole, like, maybe whatever bit at the beginning. Plus, I'm a random person. I like to do random stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of why I'm making this video. So there is sort of a story behind it. So a couple days ago, I was not really sure what to talk about, so I'm like, you know what, let's just go for a walk in the park. That'll give me time to think about it. Hopefully by the time I get back, I know what I want to think about. But I always had like this backup in the back of my head of if I don't think of anything, I could just kind of give people an update on how things are going eating wise. So that was always kind of my plan in the background. But then I ended up listening to a song as I was walking, and a lyric in the song made me think about, my legacy and how I want people to remember me once I'm gone. And, as I mentioned in the video, that has nothing to do with me believing that I'm going to die soon. In fact, most things are going much better, and I'm very grateful for that. It's just in general terms, what kind of legacy, what kind of impact do I want to have on the world? So I ended up doing that video instead on that day, instead of doing the update on, this is how the diet and food and eating and everything is going. But I've been thinking about that for the last couple of days. I'm like, you know what? Let's make a full video on this. And it's just because of what happened that day was ironic. So, initially the plan was let's go for a walk in the park. If I don't think of anything, come back, record that video giving the update. And that day, like, the last few days, was able to eat relatively well. Not 100% back to normal. At near the end of the meal, I still kind of ended up not being hungry. I had to force myself a bit to finish the meal, but I was able to eat more. And at this point, like, I don't know. I'm gonna know in a couple weeks when I go get my next treatment. They weigh me, and then I'll know exactly how much I gained. But considering the fact that the 3 weeks before that, I thought like things were finally starting to get better. I was able to start eating more, throwing up less, and I was able to gain 2 pounds from that, even though it was just the start of the process and it was really only 2 out of the 3 weeks. So, considering that, now that I'm able to eat more consistently for a full 3 weeks, I'm hoping to be able to gain even more weight. Like, even now, I look at myself in the mirror and I can see, like, okay, I seem to have gained a little weight. Not significantly, still gonna take a while to get back to what I used to be, but there's definitely is that goal of like, let's get back to 150 pounds. I don't know how many weeks or months it's gonna take. I don't want to try to force things or rush things, but things are definitely heading in the right direction. So anyway, all that to say that on that day when I was thinking about making a video about this, I had a good day. I was able to eat, relatively well, had no issues, everything was great. And then it gets to the end of the day. And the funny thing is, I need to mention that before. The funny thing is, in that video, I was going to mention, hey, it's been over a week, maybe like almost a week and a half since I last threw up. I'm really happy about that. And of course, on the day I was planning on making that video, nighttime comes, start coughing more, start having a little breathing issues, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's just go to bed. Let's rest. Tomorrow will be better. Go to bed, and as I'm getting ready for bed, start coughing, and it gets to the point where it's like at this point, I can tell when the coughing gets intense enough that throwing up is a risk, and it got to that point, and I'm just like, all right, you know what? I don't care there was the urge to cough in my throat. I'm not going to cough. I'm going to hold it back. I don't want to throw up. Unfortunately, it happened just a little too late, and I started feeling that familiar sensation of, oh crap, I'm going to throw up. So I'm just lying in bed, like, hoping it's like, nope, please don't throw up, please don't throw up, please, that sensation go away, like, get reabsorbed, please, please, please. And eventually it gets to the point where it's like, yeah, okay, crap, this is happening. So, jump out of bed, rush to the bathroom, and at this point, I don't know. I kind of wish I had a throw up log just so I could keep track of exactly how many times I've thrown up because it's been a lot. And the reason why I'm thinking that would have been cool is because I could have gotten to the end of this and have been like, you know what? During this period of having cancer, I threw up like 1,375 times or whatever that number would have been. But anyway, all that to say, I've thrown up at least a couple hundred times at this point. And I've become very good, one, at sensing when it's about to happen, and two, sensing it early enough that I'm able to make it to the bathroom before it begins. This time, since I was in bed and I was trying to fight it, and I was really hoping it was going to go away, I waited too long, and even though I rushed to the bathroom, I did not quite make it in time. And it was gross to clean up after. So it's like, already throwing up sucks. But then when you're done throwing up and you're like, crap, I gotta go throw up the puke that's on the floor in the hallway. This is gonna suck. Plus, like, I was naked because I was literally in bed about to fall asleep. And, it's not really the middle of the night because I go to sleep relatively early nowadays. But still, definitely not a pleasant experience. But the overall irony of this is like that day where I was planning on saying like, hey, eating is going really well, back to normal, haven't thrown up in like almost a week and a half. I'm really happy, proud of myself, things are going super good. And then the end of the day, it's just like, yep, throw up and just ruin everything. So even though I didn't record that video that day, I'm recording it today instead. I just thought it was ironic and it just felt like something worth sharing because that's kind of the, I don't want to say downside because things have been going so well lately that I want to be grateful for that. And I don't want to, send any kind of negative energy out into the universe to attract something bad. But that's kind of the downside, for lack of a better word. That's kind of the downside of things going well, of the coughing slowly diminishing, of the breathing issues getting better, of me being able to sleep better, me being able to eat more, and throw up less. And it's like all those things, everything is slowly getting better. And as a result of that, it just seems like a lot of the times I'm like, I have nothing to talk about. Because, well, first of all, when it comes to YouTube and entertainment and things like that, it's just human nature. When things are bad, you get more views. People are more interested. That's just how it works. So on the plus side, when bad stuff happens, okay, cool, you get more views. Your channel gets more exposure, you get more subscribers, you make a little more money. I mean, at this point, I'm not making that much, but that's kind of how it works. And at the other upside is when bad stuff happens, even though it sucks, at least I have something to talk about. Whereas when everything's going well, it's like, yeah, okay, every once in a while I can give an update, such as a video like this, but it's like I can't do this every single day. It just gets boring. So that's kind of the downside, if you will, of things going well and, everything going well. Because in the past, it's like something goes better, but then something else gets worse. And it just kind of like balances itself out. But now it's like everything is getting better. And as a result of that, I've just kind of struggled a little more lately to come up with, things to talk about, stories to tell, ideas to make videos and things like that, which is why I didn't make a video yesterday. So anyway, that's kind of, I guess, the only downside, but everything else is just like, it feels really good to feel good. Like not great, not back to normal. We're not quite there yet, but it's definitely nice to go in that direction. The only bad thing, if you will, about this is the fact that it's a little more difficult, a little more challenging for me to come up with ideas to make videos. So just want to give you a quick warning. It is possible that in the next couple weeks I might make less videos. I don't know. We never know what will happen, but just wanted to kind of let you know in advance if ever that ends up happening. So hopefully this story was entertaining. Hopefully it wasn't too gross about like, that's the thing. I'm a very visual person. So when someone says something or, tells me a story, something like that, I picture everything in my head. So if you're like me and I share this story and you're like picturing me, naked, super skinny, like crouched down on the floor, like in the middle of the night, like mopping up puke, I'm sorry for that visual image. That was not my intention. I just thought it was a funny story to share. So hopefully it was entertaining. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.